Morning, everybody. Morning. Matt isn't here, but I knew that. Yeah. Right. Welcome to this week's meeting of Essex Business Forum. I'm your chairman, as you know. Before I get into it, our 10-minute speaker will not be here today, so it'll be a Q&A. So listen carefully to the 60 seconds. All you have to do in listening to the 20 contributions is think of one question to ask as you listen. And the moment you go to the question, you're ready for stop listening. Simple. Right. Leadership team. Stand up. Tell us who you are.
Stand up, Brian.
And then sit down.
Tell me who you are and then sit down. So you just said, Agent.
I did. I said you, not you.
I'll say I do apologise.
Morning, I'm Brian, Social Secretary.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Terry. I deal with membership and recruitment.
Morning guys, Ben, Education Coordinator.
Good morning, Scott, your meeting secretary and handsome face of our chat.
Well, quite the opposite of leadership, really, isn't it? Right. Please be seated. Thank you for that.
Sit down, Brian.
Right.
Terry.
You're welcome.
Actually, I almost
Rather.
exonerated Brian on that. Right. Performance lead is first. Scott.
Well, welcome to May. Congratulations to everyone who smashed their target for April's performance league. So well done, Vince, Paul, Stuart, then Ben, then John, then Aidan, then Barry, then Mike, then Paul Food, then Tina Walker, then Blake Hammond, Neil Burnham, and Toby.
Who's bottom?
What which are
He's a character in the
Oh, sorry, that's great.
Who's bottom? Probably have got a good idea. Members topping 200 points in the month. Well done, Neil. 225 238 for Toby. 248 for Jay. Yes! 251 for Terry. Just one member smashed 300 points.
Who's that?
Exactly.
Should we start a handicap system like for the Wordle? So if you win it one month, you deduct 100 points for the next one.
Yes,
I think that would work.
I think the system is going to be in it to win it, so to say. If you turn up, any contributing blog, and you give and receive lots of referrals, you're at the top.
Talking about blog. Talking about blog, I will be unable to do the blog this week, so start thinking about when I ask for volunteers, at least have 2 or 3 hands going up. So, right, education presentation. Karen.
Thank you very much. Welcome straight in, take and hand straight over to Paul Rose.
Right, today I think we've had a few tips and pointers on 60 seconds and the delivery. So, first one is bad news and worry always sells better than good news and facts. So, just a few examples. Thank you, Stuart. You're a good example.
A good example of bad news.
People would be worried if you've got an office of 5 people and their internet goes down. They can't work. Whereas you're emphasising the bad news as opposed to saying, right, you've got super fast broadband at 500 gigabytes per second, all that. That's just a fact, it's not a worry. Other things might be if someone hasn't got a will, then in certain circumstances the money could go to the Crown rather than who you want it to go to. So you're emphasising worries. So yes, another one. Leanne, you've got a potential client there looking to sell their property, rather than saying it looks wonderful and I love it. It might be a case of, well, if it doesn't look right, you're not going to sell the property, and someone else could buy another property. Your potential client. So those are the worries. Other tips and pointers. Generally, I'm sort of common to this, is when you do your 60 seconds, if you talk too quickly, then people just don't understand. It goes past them, and that's because you've got so much information trying to impart. It just seems really hurried. So try and slow down your presentation a little bit. Also, and it's often common with visitors, members, they'll have a sheet of their 60 seconds in front of them and hold it like this, and it's very boring. So, fortunately, hopefully no one's got anything they're reading out. Glasses, Nick, or... Listen to that. So, yeah, thank you. Just a few pointers.
Oh, very good.
Terry, do we have any membership matters to reveal?
No.
No. Right, okay. So, we now approach the 60-second round. Your chance to highlight your business, but only in 60 seconds. We have the bellman, who after 50 seconds will do that, yeah. And after 60, he will do, when you hear the do-do, sign off and sit down. Right, that's that. The Oscar was one.
Me.
Hey. She's been polishing all week, she put it in front of her. She will make the award at the end of the round. So she will go first, and then we will follow. So, with that in mind, before we get underway, let me pass around the business card box. Check that you're adequately represented. Make sure you've got cards that enable you to make introductions. And also, until Blake gets back and makes it nicer, it's nice enough as it is, are the box that will come round. Put in your slips for activity sheets and for referrals. Right, underway then. So, you're first and you're followed by Shannon.
I'm hanging on. You ready?
Go, 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Go, go, go.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Tina. My company's called Liberty Executive Services, offering a secretarial and admin service. I've just signed up a new client. They're dealing with their company's called Meet the Great. They're dealing with all the sports personalities, football, boxing, swimming, athletes, all types. So if you know anybody that wants to do an event inviting their clients and they want a great speaker that's famous, let them know that I'll be able to pass on the details. So that's me, Tina, Liberty Executive Services, not 9 to 5 and stuff.
Thank you very much, Tina. Sharon, you're next and followed by Nick.
Good morning, everyone. I was going to read something from a paper, but as you all know, we do mortgages. We also do protection. One thing that I think people don't realize that we do is home insurance. So I can look at quotes for you if you're coming up to renewal for your home insurance, or if you have any properties that you rent out. I can also do landlord's insurance. One thing that we've been working on is we've hired someone to help us out with our social media. So you will see some changes on our website, also in our LinkedIn and Facebook profiles. So if you want to, give us a follow. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Shannon. Nick, you're next, followed by Brian.
Good
morning, my name is Nick, I'm a structural engineer, as you all know. I'm going to look at a property this afternoon. It has a classic point of sale problem. This is where someone is on the point of selling their house. They find that the valuation surveyor suddenly decides to find a problem with it. And this results, of course, in the mortgage company not being very forthcoming with any money to buy the property. The key point here is that they need a structural engineer to come and look at the problem and hopefully resolve it. That's where I come in. All kinds of problems can crop up. The one I'm going to see this afternoon is a retaining wall between two driveways. One driveway is about 3 foot higher than the other one, and over the years the water's leaking over. No one realised that until now, so the bloke is quite desperate to get it sorted out. It may be quite a tricky one to resolve actually, but it's a very good example of why it's so important to have a structural engineer look at the house before you buy it, well before you decide to even buy it, before you get on the, before you go too far down the house buying process. I'm saying. So that's what I do. If you know anyone who's buying a house, give them my card. I'll be happy to talk to them. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. Wasn't boring at all. Thank you. Keep using the sheets. Don't worry about it. Brian, you're next, and you're followed by James.
Hello, everybody. Brian, therapist, pilgrim therapy. Just back in harvest today, so I haven't seen any clients for a few weeks. But what I am looking for this time of year is particularly people who fear of flying, and poor best man who has to give a speech in his telephone. So fear of flying and fear of public speaking is what I'm looking for. Thank you, Brian. Pilgrim hypnotherapy. Help is just a phone call away. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. James.
Sorry, can I just interrupt? I'm going to just message. There's a white car next to my Mini, and she thinks it's that alarm that's going off.
Tina.
It stopped.
It's just.
So I'm next to you. Oh.
Right.
It's sat in the car, yeah. Pushing it.
Give a breakfast.
Yeah, you can bring it in.
Right, well, shows the value of alarms.
Shove it in there, it's my alarm number.
Right, yes, the alarm earlier, so it's probably alright. Okay, let's move it forward. I think James, with a voice of a football supporter after. James, you're next. Give it to us.
Lovely. Morning, everyone. James from Brown & Brown, and as you can tell, I'm on a course today. There we go. Wait for someone. Yeah, so this week I spoke to an underwriter. I had a meeting with him. Obviously involved food and alcohol, which is always the best meeting. And they specialise in pubs, restaurants, venue hire, also some sports clubs as well. So really keen to get the team into a few more of those, especially pubs and restaurants, because I've had more meetings that involve food and alcohol. Sports clubs, because I love sport, and it's a new market, so I really want to test them out. So if you know anyone along those lines, send them my way, and even if they're rubbish, I've got other people in my pocket, so we can work it out. If you've got any really weird and wonderful, nasty things that you can do, you really need, really urgently, send it my way, because that seems to be the theme of this week. And thank you, James. Anyway, James, about insurance, send it my way.
No sheet in front of him. Not boring. Well done. James, thank you.
I disagree.
Vincent, you're next, and you're followed by Toby. Hello, Toby.
Yes.
Vincent, you're off.
Morning, everyone. Vincent from Speed Print. I'm going to talk about the F word today. Does anyone know what the F word stands for?
Flatulence.
Flatulence. Very good. No, it's not that. Anyone else? Oh. Fog. Fog.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about fog. You got a third one?
Fluffy.
Fluffy's good. No, it's fate. Fate. Summer fates. F for fate. F-E-T-E, fate. Now's the time, if you know anyone from a Rotary Club or school summer fair, PTA, parent association, I can supply a classic car show. I can supply flyers, posters, big PVC banners with eyelets and hemmed on the railings to advertise the event. That's the sort of people I'm looking for. So anyone that's on a PA, school PA, or in a Rotary Club, or any of that sort of thing. So anyway, that's Speed Print. I'll start it now. So it's Vincent from Speed Print. You think it, we effing think it.
Fantastic, thank you. Toby, you're next, and Jack will follow.
Good morning, everybody. Bad news. Bad news, I was in Peterborough, I spent the day in Peterborough yesterday. Yeah, it's growing up north. I was training a group of people and training alongside a number of people with using motivational maps. And there was an HR consultant that was also training there. There was somebody that uses maps, they have an employee benefits business and they use motivational maps for that. But also a psychological safety consultant, very interesting lady, expert in psychological safety, and she's using motivational maps in her business. So I am looking for referrals to HR consultants, people with employee benefits consultancies, and also specifically anybody involved in psychological safety. If anybody knows anyone in those fields, please do put me in touch. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Toby. Jeff, your
Morning everyone, Jack from Solitaire, filling in for Paul because he's not here again. So I'll fill in for him. This week probably talk about something different rather than MCS registration, which has been probably a big topic recently. It's not the only thing we do. We do quite a lot of commercial work as well. So over the past couple of weeks we've been working in landfill sites, which has been quite interesting, following a load of Legionella reports of unsafe sort of water situations. So we've been carrying that out. Biggest one is in Colchester, which takes over 97% of all of Essex's waste. Absolutely huge there. There's a lot of work to be carried out. We've done it all obviously fairly quickly, got them all back up, Legionella reports have been redone, and they passed, which is all good. So yeah, not just domestic work, we do commercial and all sorts of other works that you may want. And we're offering 10% spring sale at the moment on labour. Spring sale. Thank you.
you are after the meeting. Mike, you're next, and you're followed by Ben.
Good morning everyone, Mike from Blackwood's Media. So I just want to do a bit of a general thank you to the group this week, because I've had a bit of a week and it's involved various members in different ways. So quick storyline on through is I bought a new vehicle at the weekend, I'd like to go up and look for that. On the way back down, I thought I was having a bit of a rising water crisis because of a couple of things that got that gone wrong. And in my mind, I'm going, I'm going to need Terry for this, and I'm already thinking about how many people he's going to sue and all this. Fortunately, it turned out to be okay, so that wasn't too much of an issue. But then when I got home, put the bike in the garage door broke. So I spent the last couple of days on the phone to Leanne, whose husband Paul has sorted out all of that. His guy's coming around today, he's got this sorted really quickly because the landlord's been very slow on that sort of stuff. While speaking to the landlord, he informed me that he's thinking of selling the property. So I then got on the phone to Clark. And I was talking about mortgage arrangements, so that's going to be my next few months, sorting out that sort of stuff, which will probably lead me into speaking to Nick as well, and yeah, to get a house redesigned a bit to go ahead and buy it. Yeah, exactly. But as a whole, though, it's just given me so many options of people to reach out to, how to get advice from. It's been a really helpful group. I just want to say thank you to everyone that's been involved. Cheers for
Thank you, Mike. Ben, you're next, and you're followed by Stuart.
Good morning guys, Ben Golding from Utility Warehouse, and I help people to save money on their essential household utilities. Gas, electricity, home phone, broadband, mobile phone, toilet cover. Now, we have the cheapest energy available in the UK, and we're so confident that people will save money with us, we have brought out our double the difference price promise. So you're guaranteed to save money. Plus, on top of that, we have new cashback partners to help you save even more. So if you use Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, Paramount, Spotify, you can now earn cashback on your subscription, which means you can watch Desperate Housewives on Disney Plus and get them to pay part of your bill for you. So this week I'm looking for people you know that would like to save money with UK's cheapest, most trusted and most recommended utility company. That's Ben Golding, Utility Warehouse.
Thank you, Ben. Right, Stuart, you're followed by Terry.
Good morning everybody, Stuart from LG Networks. Just want to remind you this morning about our business mobile offering. We can supply EE, 302 and Vodafone mobile. We can either supply you with the hardware, with the handset if you want to, and then obviously that will put you into a contract term to obviously for the length of the value of the phone, or we can supply you SIM only if you like. If you've already got the phone, you're quite happy with the phones that you've got, and we can supply you SIM only phones. We are business contract providers, so we generally look for at least 5 mobiles to make a business tariff. That gives us access to basically better tariffs when we're looking at 5 or more. If we're looking at 1s and 2s, to be honest, we're not really competitive in that space, so we're looking for business mobile accounts. If you know anyone who's looking for a little review, please put me in touch with me. That's Stuart at LGS. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Stuart. Terry, you're followed by Scott.
Thanks very much. Good morning again, everybody. Terry Malin from TM Law. I've had a client this week. I was doing a debt recovery for them, and we wrote a letter demanding the money. Didn't get any response. Then I had a chat with the director, and he was very concerned about spending money with me to get his money back. It wasn't fortunes, but you know, it's a fair amount for a small business. And one of his biggest concerns was paying me £250 plus VAT to prepare and issue the proceedings and get judgment. And so I explained to him that although we couldn't recover that from the debtor, what we could do, and what I had done, is claimed over £1,000 in compensation for each of the outstanding invoices and interest at 13.25%. Fair, Howard? Fair. Anyway, the total amount of the compensation interest was about £2,500, so 1/10 of what I was proposing to charge him. So after our conversation, he decided he was going to risk it and we're going to issue proceedings. So if you know anyone that's owed money, give them my details, I'll give them a fair, honest appraisal, and I'll tell them how we can hopefully cover my costs as well. Terry Malin, TM Law, thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Scott, you're followed by Howard.
Good morning all. Doom and gloom and terror, so I'll incorporate that into my segment this morning. I look after and host and manage probably 90-something% of all the websites in my sort of portfolio. Occasionally clients want to host themselves, they've got their own arrangements, or they want to do it a little bit cheaper than my service. I should never do that. I've got a dull website, there's no transaction information and there's nothing interesting. Why would hackers ever want to take my website or hack my website? Simply to turn you into a distributor of their dodgy malware, their pornography, their various other things. Your website, you won't see when it's been hacked, but they will have added 5,000 pages worth of content secretly behind that front page that you'll see, not on your navigation, but you'll be used as another place to distribute all the nasty content. We can do that, we can clean it all up and tidy any hacked website for about 100 quid, keep you all safe. It's best obviously to do it right from the start.
Thanks, Scott. Howard, you're followed by Andrew.
Morning. Howard Williams from Clear Financial Advice, independent financial advisors. We do investment and retirement planning. I'm really busy at the moment, so I'm not going to talk about anything. For the rest of my 60 seconds, we could just sit quietly and contemplate. I know those missed opportunities that would have made our lives immeasurably better had we not been too cheap to take up. My gift to you.
Thank you, Howard.
What was her name?
Thank you, Howard.
Great 60 seconds.
It wasn't boring though, no paper. Excellent, thank you. Andy, you're next, you're followed by Leanne.
Morning everyone, I'm Andy from Guardian Hygiene Services. Not heard Lead General say by anyone else just yet, but yeah, Lead General is confusing. We went to a golf club this week, we've done their assessment, and he looked at the 45-page document and said, what is all this? And so I had to drive up to his golf club, we went through the assessment. Very, very simple to explain what he needed to do and how he needed to turn the risk from a high risk to a low risk. Most of it was having a logbook, having processes in place to minimise the risk, and it was very, very simple for me to explain to him, but for him to have a 45-page document was catastrophe. I tripped to Middlesbrough last week on the morning and back, wasn't wasted, to take 2 water samples. It came back with positive Legionella on a CT unit truck. The issue was, it was a mains fed from the hospital that it was at. So we're trying to figure out, well, it really wasn't the truck, it may have been from the actual hospital. So that we're not contracted to. So again, we're just advising on how to chlorinate that truck before it moves on to the next place. Any of these other issues? Up to me.
Thank you very much, Andy. Leanne, followed by Jane.
Leanna Brooklyn Interiors. So I designed from one room to a whole house, and from design to installing and to staging. A lot of my work recently has been new builds and putting character and personality into homes. But I've had an inquiry this week. It's an older building, but she is now divorced and she's moving back into the old marital home. So she wants a complete refresh. She doesn't want to be reminded of the marriage. So that's what I've got coming up. So if you know anyone that wants a complete refresh, for whatever reason, like this lady, she wants a new start. May need some help from you, Nick, because she wants to knock the wall down and make an arch bigger. So that's me. That's Leanna Brooklyn Interiors. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. Jane, you're followed by Neil.
Hello everybody, Jane Mannion from the English Cream Tea Company and the Secret Scullery or Scullery venue in White Roding. 28th September. Stop press, don't get bored, come to our quiz night and supper. It's a Saturday. Tables of 4, 6, 8, that sort of thing, plugged together. It's an absolute hoot. We're going to even let you bring your own booze for the night. No firkins avail, please. Marvellous quiz. We even have a guess the chocolate round. Where you guess Toby tasted it, and one of the chocolates had writing on it. You know how, like Galaxy. Well, you'll cut out all the letters so nobody can cheat. We have a delicious menu. It's 3 courses, coffee to follow, and I wish you would join in the fun. 28th of September, I've got the prices if anyone's interested. Don't be bored. Come to the Secret Scullery. I'll go with that. Thank you, dears.
Quick tagline for some of your advertising for that. No firkin.
No firkin avail?
Yeah, I know.
Yes. Well, you know, you're only there for 1 night.
Double entendre, but yeah. Never mind.
All right.
Thanks very much, Jane. Neil, you're followed by Neil.
Morning everyone, Neil from the Event Catering. A week of highs and lows really. The lows, that asked to do a very well paid job directly for Sharp Ninja, Pub in the Park, Marlow, 30,000 people in attendance. And then once we agreed, yeah, that would be nice, they said it's in 2 weeks' time today. The menus have been done and it's a complete shit show. I mean, an absolute shit show. But we will, turns out we're expected to fix everything as well. So that's the lows. The highs, I had round for lunch yesterday, the head of Monkey Business, to talk about the food requirements for their 3-day non-stop hedonistic weekend. Monkey Business, if anyone doesn't know, may as well be called the Essex Swingers Association. So these are one of these jobs that I'm not going to have a problem finding staff for. I'm just gutted I'm not in the country to do it myself. So highs and lows, that's still from Lily Event Catering. Thank you very much.
Alliteration that informs the S word. Great stuff. Thank you, Neil. Aidan Squire from TM Law. I'm away on holiday next week and the week after, which is probably why I'm in a buoyant mood, or buoyant as the Americans would say. So this week I'll try and educate you. The Employment Allocation of Tips Act 2023 takes effect on the 1st of October. A code of practice has just been issued, and this will benefit over 2 million workers. Basically, fair and transparent distribution of tips is what it's all about. And in the light of changes to the law on pregnancy and maternity discrimination, the EHRC has just published an updated toolkit. Things you might want to know: the EHRC is the Equity and Human Rights Commission, and why do they call it a toolkit when they're dealing with pregnancy? But I don't know the answer to that. Improved flexible working hours came into force on the 6th of April. 3 reasons why you should instruct a solicitor to deal with all of your employment problems. Paul is the last.
Good morning, Paul Blue from Booth & Co, Chartered Certified Accountant, based in Brentwood. We act for a very wide range of businesses, pretty much you name it, we act for them. The only clients I don't think we haven't got at the moment are any pubs. We haven't acted for any pubs for a long time ago. So today I'm looking for anyone who knows any pub owners, have who are looking to change accountants, maybe they're not happy with their current accountants, please put them my way. The full booth from Booth & Co. in North Tax.
Thank you very much, Paul. Right, that's the end of the 60-second round. Tina, over to you.
Well, I like Paul's one about pub owners. I think we could do a pub crawl and find out if they're accountants. I'm going to give it to Scott because there is problems, and I know there are problems where people are trying to get into hacking people's websites and just trying to disturb and upset them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, right. We have collected about £14,500 worth of business recorded since last week, so well done. Good start to the month. Last week, somebody went onto V-Forms, forgot to put their name on, and they recorded something for £288 to James Humphreys, something for £132 to HB, and something for £288 to an ex-member. Don't know who it was. If you want to own up to it, it was John Hammond.
What happens if you own up to it, Scott?
You get points.
Oh, it was me.
Yeah, so it definitely wasn't you. It was John Hammond. Done. All presently correct. Oh yeah.
Right, thank you very much, Scott. Right, we now approach what would have been the 10-minute presentation. However, we all have thought questions, and we all have questions. So, Ben, I don't know whether you want to initially make your announcements and then we'll kick off with the Q&A.
Yeah, I'll give you the upcoming speakers for the next, I'll do the next 5 weeks, so that should cover my stay while I'm not here. So, next week, on the 9th, Leanne will be doing the 10-minute presentation, and she has confirmed again, so she'll definitely be here, and I'll be doing the education slot that day. Moving on to the 16th, Chris will be doing his first 10 minutes, and Nick will be doing the education slot. 23rd, it's the Nick show, because Nick will be doing the 10 minutes, and because Neil did such a good job on his ed slot last week, we'll be getting him into the ed slot that day. 30th, Clara is doing the 10 minutes, and Stuart's down to the education slot. And then finally, moving into the 6th of June, Andy will have you doing your first 10 minutes on that day, and the education provided by Auntie Jane. There. So when it is 6th of June, when it is your turn to do 10 minutes, please go to the EBS website, download the bio sheet, get it to me a day or two beforehand. And if you can't do either one of your presentations, let me know as soon as possible so we can try and at least swap things around to get you back in. And just try to remember that it's 8 minutes for a presentation to allow 2 minutes for questions. And when it is your 10 minutes, please don't forget, I can't speak, don't forget the speaker's prize as well. So, yeah, so obviously today's speaker we haven't got, so maybe we'd like to start the Q&A.
By asking for anybody with a Q, please.
Toby, what is psychological safety?
I'll put you in touch with somebody that knows all about it. It's basically the concept that in order for people to be productive and effective in the workplace, they need to feel safe. Psychologically. Yeah. It's becoming more and more popular.
So it's like a mental health first aid.
Yeah.
So does that mean no more bullying?
Yeah, not allowed to anymore, unfortunately.
Can't do you?
I know. But you pay for it.
Next question. Okay.
So, well, the debt collecting, the other side of things. My youngest had a knee operation, and because the NHS were stretched, we went to see we organised a private consultation. I went to see them, the guy was massively obnoxious, spoke to us for 8 minutes, basically us telling him what the problem was. He was saying, okay, we'll send you a bill for my time today, we'll send you a quote for the operation, and we'll get it done within 8 weeks. A month later, I got the bill for the consultation, still haven't had the quote for the operation, and sending another letter now, demanding the £395 for the 8 minutes that he took to give me a date and a promise of 2 letters, of which we got one of the letters a month after, and still no quote, and no operation date for 8 weeks, which is just about 10 months. So, can I turn up around and say, stick it?
It depends what you agreed with in the first place.
It was a telephone conversation.
It's a one-off. If it's a consultation and that's the fee, then that's the fee.
Yeah. Well, as he hasn't followed up with the rest of it.
Yeah, but what happens after that is it's something else. And that's not part, if you come and see me for consultation, because I'll advise you, what we do after that is the going forward plan. So I would say probably not, but I wouldn't be in any hurry to pay it.
On the phone up Michelle, we used to phone up them, but then they have to pay the bill after.
You don't have to go with them.
Sorry?
You don't have to go with them for work. If you think they're slow or anything.
Oh no, the operation happened 10 months ago.
Right.
Elsewhere, because they just never
Yeah,
practiced. So, but they haven't followed up with what they promised.
Yeah.
So,
just wouldn't be in any hurry to pay it. They can't charge you compensation interest because it's not business to business. So the things I mentioned in my 60 seconds, they can't charge you. Just take it to the brink.
Vincent, thanks.
That's a silly question. This is a serious one. Nick Cook. I'm looking at your business card. It's Nick Cook and Associates. Can you please let me know who the associates are?
She's my secretary as well. My son. I know him well. My associates. I've got lots of different consultants and engineers scattered all over us. Do I take a price? They would be my associates.
I accept.
Apology. They're all my friends again.
All part of your team.
I have to look up the word associates to see if it actually includes your wife and son. Finished, thank you, Adrian.
Thank you, Vincent. Enlightening. Yes, James.
Hello. So I've never been able to give a proper referral to Stuart, and I'm very proud of what you said today about 5 mobile phones or more producing card. How do I have my radar open? Because everybody's got a mobile phone. How do I know how to spot the right people to go, you need Stuart?
It's difficult. Most of the referrals I do receive are normally because some people are going through some sort of change within their business.
Right.
So you usually a company may be relocated.
Yes.
That's a very common place. A new business is starting, or they're changing the area in which they're working. I mean, like not geographically necessarily, the sector in which they're working. So if they're moving into a different area, or a company is receiving investment and going through a larger growth spurts. They're usually. I mean, you're not going to walk into a social or networking event and people moaning about their phones, anything like that. It's normally through change. But companies relocating that's probably the easiest introduction.
Thank you. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Nick.
Andy, question for Andy. I was intrigued by you mentioned last week that you had to go up to Northampton to take a sample of water. 2 samples. Well, 2 samples make it worthwhile. And it worked out well because the samples did contain Legionnaire's virus, spores, whatever it was. You have to take these samples in a very controlled way in accordance with tried practices or whatever. What are those practices? If someone said, well, you just put some water, you open the tap, put it into a plastic bottle, you forensic it for examination. There's more to it than that.
Yeah, so the sample's got to reach the lab within 24 hours. So we build it differently. My old company had litre bottles, we send you take to a DHL branch, and they would be transported to our lab within 24 hours. Where I am now with 250 bottles, so they go in a box that can go into a letterbox, so it's a lot easier to send for DHL. You had to go to a DHL depot, which was only certain in around London and the south. It wasn't Harlow, but it closed, which I did, unfortunately. But now I can post them into a post box, so from site. So I was able to just run, took the 2 samples and then posted them straight away in the post box that morning to the lab the day after. But yes, there's a method statement on how to take the sample. It sounds to me like.
Do you need a witness to say that they saw you take the water?
No, you don't need a witness. It's just a standard method statement. It's as silly as making sure the cap is the right way up and leave it on the side. Really silly little things. Don't touch the top. All that kind of jazz. We are actually chlorinating that unit in Oxford today. It's a big lorry trailer. It has got a small tank on board, but it was fed. It connects to the hospital main floor via etc. So it's actually a hospital's issue, not it's probably the hospital's issue, but so our client has to have that truck trailer chlorinated today before it goes on to its next. Yeah, so yeah, a small little job that didn't make some money, it's actually made us some money by having
Got one for James. You said you're after sports clubs, pubs and restaurants and so on. Do you know anyone connected with Ipswich Football Club? That would rather than the church.
I do know someone.
Have a word with them.
Toby.
I've got a question perhaps. Friendly enough, it was a question that somebody asked me to ask you anyway, so I thought I'd use this session. It actually also relates to Mike's sentence today. Are you enjoying your car? Any buyer's remorse?
Not at all. I love it.
Good.
I love it. It's the best thing I've ever bought.
Ever.
Ever.
Not wedding ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, better than marriage.
Better than the horse.
Kids.
What about the horse?
Everything.
I shall report back.
Question for Ben, please. You mentioned the new cashback partners.
Yeah.
Disney, Netflix, etc.
Desperate Housewives.
Yeah. How does that work? Because obviously normally with the cashback card, you pay for things on that. Do you have to pay an annual subscription?
No, you can literally set up yours when you go to pay for those TV streaming things. But you normally don't put a bank detail in, you put a card number. So it comes. So all you've got to do is go onto your Netflix, your Amazon Prime, literally change it to preferred card, change it to your cashback card. And obviously, the only thing you do have to make sure is that there is money on your cashback.
What commissions?
5%.
Nice.
So it's obviously it's not going to get you to the Bahamas, but it's going to knock a little bit. Exactly. Yes. So it should cover that. So I've got 3. So I've got Disney Plus, Amazon, Netflix. All 3 of them.
Do you watch Desperate Housewives?
Well, obviously. Because I have just finished Baby Reindeer, so that was on Netflix. But yeah, so literally change your card number to the subscription. You get the cashback each month, but just make sure you've got enough on your cashback card to cover them.
Follow-up question, Your Honour. That's just Amazon.
Not talking about Desperate Housewives.
Oh, let's love it. That's just Amazon Prime, not actually paying for Amazon.
Yes, so it's Amazon Prime Video.
Right, so still go to Sainsbury's, get your Amazon vouchers and...
If you're going to buy anything on, actually get them from Aldi instead.
Oh, Aldi do them now?
Yeah, Aldi now do, so
nice.
they used to say people to go to Wilco's until Wilco's closed down. Aldi now do Amazon vouchers. Go to Aldi, buy your Amazon vouchers, you'll get the Aldi percentage rather than the 1% from Amazon.
Another question for you then. I remember a couple of years ago you said about the cashback card. There was a possibility it was going to be changed to like a debit card as opposed to a top-up card. Is that still?
Not that I've heard of. No, I know it's always going to be a cash only card. Only because we don't want to encourage people to get into debt. Right. So as soon as you change it to a credit or a debit, then obviously people can have a tendency to overspend. Where if we keep it a top-up card, people can only literally spend what they put on it. So we don't want to encourage anybody getting into any debt. And it's still coming we're still waiting for Apple Pay. That's imminent. Literally, it's been imminent for about the last 4 or 5 months, but it is coming as well.
So you can do an automatic top-up, can't
Yes. Yeah. Or you can set it so if it drops below a certain amount, it will automatically top back up as well.
Just going back to the 60 seconds about hosting a website, apart from nefarious people doing it, what other benefits are there of hosting a website that, so you're hosting it, for example?
Cheap hosting, don't do cheap hosting. It needs to be fast and responsive. So first of all, Google will score you more points and rank you higher if your website responds quicker. If you use cheap hosting, you're on the same server as probably 1,000 other websites that want to do things cheap. And if a single one of those websites has a hole in it and can get in by hackers, everyone on that box is also in trouble, because once a hacker's in, they're in. So yes, you need to just make sure that your whole environment is safe and secure.
You monitor those, don't you?
Yeah, so the different service solutions I've got, they are responsible for, I think, about 5% of globally all the internet traffic I've got. I mean, just the EVF website has about 10,000 attacks a month. People trying to log in, just bots, just trying to get past the security of logging in. So it happens a ridiculous amount of times. That's the most common way is people with stupid passwords. Or downloading a dodgy plugin that leaves a hole that someone could get into. But yeah, just do it properly. Don't go cheap on it.
Observation, which I guess is ultimately a question for Brian. I became aware the other day that there is now a Hackers in Billericay. I think it opened a couple of years ago. Hackers, crazy golf, dinner, that sort of thing. And they also have an escape room there. Has anybody been?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I've done them all. They're all brilliant.
You can't come to a EVF one because you're cheap.
No, I've done them all twice, and the second time I didn't have a clue what I was doing. So
Maybe that's something for us to look into.
Yeah, well, I did offer 2 different ventures, hackers last year, the one in Billericay, and I had one response.
Did they go?
There's still not feeling Yeah.
Who did? What did you say? I wasn't there.
Okay.
It's worth another try.
Off your way. If it's possible to, I know you can, what is the difference between a lasting power of attorney and the other one? Is it enduring power?
There used to be an enduring power of attorney, which was turned into a lasting power of attorney, which was a much more formalised document, is a much more formalised document that is formally registered at the Office of the Public Guardian. That is intended to make sure that it lasts past your lack of capacity, so that it continues to exist until you die, if you lose the ability, the mental capacity. The difference between that and both general and specific ordinary powers of attorney is they presuppose that you have mental capacity. And the moment you lose mental capacity, it comes to an end. There are also other ways in which those powers of attorney can come to an end. Some only last a year, some can be are specific to doing a particular job, like acting for somebody, representing somebody who's selling their house and going abroad. You could receive a power of attorney. That would be a lasting power of attorney. A lasting power of attorney is just an awful lot of paperwork, an awful lot of time, and it's got to be registered before it can be used. Once you've got it, it follows you, and if you lose it, it's still effective.
can I add Sorry, can I add to Aidan? There are 2 types. There's one that pertains to financial affairs, and another one for health and well-being. People think the financial one is the important one. They're both equally vital.
Yeah. Can I just ask follow up to that as well? So when's the best time to get a power of attorney? Because I mean, obviously, if you wait till people are
Just before you go completely mad.
If you wait too long, obviously they're too.
The day before.
The day before.
when do I make a will? The will is obviously to deal with things when you die, but you make it when you are able to make it, and if you want to change it, you can change it. A lasting power of attorney is intended to make sure that if you do lose mental capacity, there's somebody there to pick up the pieces, both financially and in relation to health and welfare. So do it when, don't wait and say, oh, well, I need to get it done, because again, you cannot, like a will, you can always change it. It's just an incredibly tedious process that you've got to go through. It takes a little while to get it through. I mean, currently, the Office of the Public Guardian is turning around applications for lasting powers of attorney in about 4 to 5 months. So it does take a little while. So get it done is the short answer.
Do you do it to yourself? Do it for yourself? Because I did it for my mum. I thought that was the third person who did it for.
No, the person who does it is the person who takes out the power, who creates, donates the power of attorney. So if your mum needed the possible assistance of you as an attorney, she would be the one who is effectively taking out and creating the lasting power of attorney, and therefore her marbles are more important than yours.
You would get Toby to take one out looking after your
Turn off the machine.
Yeah, that is one of the interesting questions. With the health and welfare, the only difference between health and welfare in the format is there's an extra question, is if you have to turn off the machine, do you want to rely on the doctors, or do you want your attorneys to cover that question? So it's something that's morbid to go with it. Yes, Scott?
Just following on from something you just said. So I submit some documents to you, and during that 4 to 5 month waiting period, something comes into effect and I need to deal with it. Because it hasn't finished, is that my problem? Not because I've submitted it.
Okay. Right, follow it through, you give me instructions, I prepare, you fill in, and prepare a lasting power of attorney. That is your lasting power of attorney, and it is dated. I then send it off for you to the Office of the Public Guardian, and it is that process that takes 4 months. The lasting power of attorney is the one that has been sent in, it's done, but it's only when it's registered that it becomes effective. It therefore follows that if you lose your marbles between making it and it being registered, it still is an effective power of attorney, because at the time that you did it, it was effective. Your question following on from that is, well, if I change my mind, start again. But I have all the information.
Can I ask Neil, are you going to bring a monkey business along as a visitor?
She's a great entrepreneur. I mean, she literally built that business up one erection at a time. So I mean, if no one would be offended, I can always ask if she'd like to come along and visit for 60 seconds. She's Essex based.
And Grant to bring down to the social.
I'm really good to
I know the owner of Killing Kittens,
Right.
which is a similar business, maybe we should introduce.
Right, okay. Thank you all for the questions for a lively session. Very good. It's just as well we didn't have 10 minutes because it was good. Right, that's it. We move on. We move on to the referral for testimonials. Paul, do you want to do the... Paul's going to run. He'll start and then come round.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you, Monies, for ex-member 2 Matt Barry, David Roberts. One-to-one held. Thank you very much on Monday. And
That was a good one, I thought, wasn't it? I like the Q&A, I like to do it every now and again. If it's too often, it'd be a bit drab, but every few months is a really good idea. I've got to hang around for about an hour while I wait to go to the dentist. So if anyone wants a one-to-one after this, I'm available.
What time's your appointment?
It's not till 10.
Not 2:30. I think.
It wasn't that
Thank
Thank you, Paul, for your race lot. It's true, actually, what you say. I think business and a lot of personal. People tend to move away from pain. They won't necessarily move towards pleasure. So sometimes it's nice to hold a carrot, but sometimes you need to crack it with a stick. So thank you for that. It's not. And I enjoyed the 10 minutes. It's always nice hearing questions and answers. Thank you.
Yeah, Q&A is great. I like it myself. You went to stop with me, Paul. Thank you for that. I'm working on a referral for John Hammond. I'm doing some work on a nursing home in Westcliff, and he mentioned how important access control is. The guy who runs the nursing home has got it sorted already, but he said he wouldn't mind learning a little bit about John Hammond. It's not exactly a referral yet, but it might. I'll tell him. Thank you.
Great meeting, everyone. Obviously filling in for Paul, so I have no referrals or any information up there off. So I'm sure you can cover that next week. Thanks.
I've got a referral here for Terry. I think she's already found you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I've got another referral from Terry.
Right.
Gary, that's a fun deal.
Yeah.
Thank you for the money, Terry. And I'll see you all next week.
Yeah, I mean, everyone, Q&A was really important. Asking good questions for I've got a one-to-one with Paul. He's on his way back from Lincoln at 11 o'clock today, so I think we're going to leave and plumbing as well. So a lot of remedial, so we're going to work together and possibly have you guys on to sort of subcontractor and things like that. I know James will dealing with you with a few insurance bits as well. So yeah, starting to sort of integrate with a lot of you and getting bits of business. And Neil's obviously going to get a menu for me for our football presentation evening. We've got from 4 teams to 9 teams, and we've got 209 people. Didn't have to feed them all, so Neil's going to. So yeah, it's really great. So we're starting to assist you and you guys assist me as well. So we'll see you. Oh, I'm not here next week. You late.
Great, it's Paul. Thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. Wonderful 10 minutes. And don't forget to put a referral. It's important to that. And then I can put in some thank you for the monies, lots of monies. And I'll get points for that too. I will be here next week, but I won't be here the week after. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a great week.
Yeah, good meeting. Thanks, Paul. I've got a referral for people that aren't here, so I'll wait until next week. It's a bit more fuss about it, isn't it? But one of them is possibly Chris trying to organise a trip for something like 150 teenagers. So that'll be a challenge. I'll then do the traffic jam on top of that. So anyway, yeah, see you all next week.
Actually, thank you today. Thank you, Toby, for continued business with the GAT.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, David Lumley, ex-member for continued business. He's responsible for my toilet hire bloke. And thank you to Matt for the new project we started, and also thank you to Matt for monthly hosting.
I will see you next week, or the week after, because I'll see you the week after that. May I ask if anybody is willing to volunteer to do the vlog for this week? Probably another 2 weeks, but that's something. Jane, did I see that? Is that your finger up, Jane? Yeah. Now you know I go through every week. Right, thank you very much indeed, Jane. That's good. Right, I hope you all have a great 2 weeks, and I'll see you when you get back.
Great, yes, always good to be reminded about what we can do in our 6 seconds to represent ourselves, so thank you very much. We've got a referral there for James. Suddenly realised I'm off to Barcelona at the weekend and haven't got travel insurance, and nobody will insure me because they were like, no, don't want you. So, help. No pressure, but Yeah, no, Saturday. Okay. Thanks.
Which Saturday?
This one. I'm off the airport tomorrow actually, so yeah, that'd be great. Thanks Mike for the list as well. Great meeting to see you next week.
I just want to say it was another great meeting, and thank you for having me here. I really enjoyed the 10 minutes doing the Q&A. I've not seen that before, so that was really good, just to get to know everyone's business a bit better. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks Paul for the ed slot. It does pay to be reminded of these things, and obvious, which is pays to remind us. So thank you very much for that. And yeah, enjoyed the Q&A. It's always, we make an effort to get a bit out of it. Sometimes we've seen such a lengthy list of documents, I just couldn't face typing it, so you've done it for me. So thank you very much.
Thank you all for your insights. One of the reasons that people are addicted to smoking or drugs, why it's difficult for them to stop, is because the part of the mind, the subconscious, urging towards the pleasure and the pain if they stop. And that part of the mind is not responsible for making the original decision, and it is not aware of the negative consequences. And now for our next 60 seconds, I have a referral to Tina. Don't do it. Thank you. See you next week.
So, recommendation for Jane's quiz, which was fantastic. And who's ever been to a quiz when there's a guess the chocolate round? Good, just for that. So yeah, see if I book in again. That was really good. Local elections. I don't know if there was some area councils up for elections.
No, I think I voted out by the populace.
I'm up for re-election, so wish me luck, everybody. The parish council. So.
Thank you, Paul, for your very creative F words. Always enjoy your help. Because of that, I've got thank you for the money for Mr. Muscles over there, business cards. And also thank you to Ben for recommending the funeral celebrant who died. I spoke to him last week. Thank you very much. Just told me to bugger off.
Yes, thank you for the extra good reminder. I have a thank you for the money to Joe. Her referral has put a trade design consultation with me, and hopefully there's a bit more. I've got a couple of referrals for people that aren't here, and I haven't got a referral through for you yet for my roller band, but I'll do that. So thank you. See you all next week. Yes.
Well, yeah, great. It's not Paul. Kind of reminded me of the whole selling this pen thing. You need to create need rather than wants. I think. Well, bearing in mind. I've got a referral request from our photographer actually. I don't know anything about this, but he's after an event organiser from someone called Monkey Business. He doesn't know. Referring to the end for some home improvements. Basically fix my car. Is that? I'll put those on an order. This is throwing the order, isn't it? I thank you for the money to Matt, who's not here. Put it together. Referral I left for Blue Serif for Matt, but he's not here either. And thank you for the money to Howard for your brother Craig to do a job quickly.
Great meeting, everybody. Wonderful. Paul, well done for starting us off in style. I've got to speak slower without my paper. I've got it. Thank you. This is apologies to James. I gave him a referral. Turns out it's very tricky and challenging. I apologise now for that. And Andy, I found this ridiculous long list of clubs and venues in Essex. My computer's the gift that keeps on giving. Thank you. I keep finding this thing. And can I just mention it's Synergy next week? That's earlier than usual because I'll be in Chicago for one after. Did you know you're in Chicago?
Is that near Canada?
Quite close to Canada, yes. I'll be doing Canada too. Are you meeting your customers' needs is the question, and how do you know that? Or are you not? That's the topic. Do join us after the meeting next week. Apologies that it's a week earlier than usual. And that's it. Thank you, dears.
Thank you. Right.
Sorry, can I just say, Brentwood Rugby Club are looking for people to sponsor around the club with banners. It's £300 for a year and £500 for 3 years, and they also throw in the artwork with that. So if anybody's interested, I've got the name of the owner of the club that I can pass on to. Obviously. Well, you know.
Right, actually, I'm about to send you on your way, so I'll stand up and address you for the end of this meeting. But Leanne started it. Announcements. Anybody want to make any announcements for the meeting? Terry.
Yeah, thank you very much. Just take up a minute of your time if I would. Those of you who know me well know I'm a keen cyclist, and at the end of May I'm cycling to Scotland just because it's there. It's done. I thought while I'm doing it I'd help raise some money for a young lady who I've known since she was 3, she's now 13. She's got Rett syndrome, some of you know her or know of her, which is locked-in syndrome. So she can't speak, she can't do anything, but she's all there. It's a terrible, terrible affliction. Anyway, she's moved to Pembrokeshire from Hockley, I don't know why, it wasn't from Hockley, but her mum and dad really want to get her out and about to enjoy the countryside, and they found a fantastic wheelchair that does everything, all terrain, but to rig it all up to her needs, including feeding tubes and everything, is a horrendous £16,000. She can't get any funding from the local authorities. Unbelievable. I've told her to try Children in Need. So while I'm cycling up to Scotland, I'm going to try and help and raise a bit of money for her. I appreciate that not all of you are in a position to offer some money for sponsorship, but if you are, it'd be fantastic. I'll send around the link. It's a GoFundMe page. I do appreciate there's always lots of requests for sponsorship, and if you don't want to do it or not able, that's fine. But if you can, that'd be really good, because she's a lovely little girl, young lady now. And it'd be really nice to help her out and get that chair for her. So thanks, thank you.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think so.
No.
I'm going to be stopped at the end of May, so I think it was in practice, right?
What's your train, mate? 43. What's your train, mate?
You go from Scotland. You can also, if you take the flying Scotsman, it's even quicker, isn't it? Anyway, sorry. Ages. There we are. Anybody else got any other announcements?
The mortality age for men in Glasgow is currently 55 years old. Just avoid Glasgow.
Go through it.
Oh, well.
Right.
Don't stop.
Don't stop at the lights then.
No.
They do stop at the lights. No, they don't. I'm saying they don't ever stop at the lights.
Oh,
Right, so with that insight into Scottish habits, I'm going to close the meeting unless anybody else has got anything to say and they don't. So, I'm going to be away for 2 weeks, Nick.
You may remember I incurred the wrath of the local, I've got a speeding ticket basically. I attended the online speed awareness course, which has made my licence completely pointless.
How fast were you going?
36 miles an hour. And that's Middleton Hall Lane. I was so anxious to come to EBS without being late. That's one of the things they say, well, why did you go so fast? And one of the problems is people are in a hurry. And I was in a hurry. Is
that a 20 mile an hour limit? No.
It's 30, well.
Right, okay, thank you for sharing that with us.
Be careful.
Right, so on that basis, I'm going to send you all on your way, because next week and the week after, I'll be in amongst a lot of sheets, which is not a lot much different from things here. So